What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up?
I got more than love, baby. This from A to Z. 'Cause when I open up my eyes, I see clearly. This is nothing but the truth.
We're gonna let some more people come in here, y'all.
So you and I can make our future history.
Good morning to everybody, or should I say, maybe good afternoon to certain people. We're gonna let some more people come in here, and then we're gonna get started. What's up, Latha? What's going on? What's going on? Bridget's in here. Shazamay. Some of my early folks, man. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys put what city you're from. I'm just curious. I like to keep track of it. When you're coming in, make sure you hit that thumbs up as you're coming in as well. Nita's here. What's up, Nita? All my early birds. Where's Boss Lady at? Boss Lady was in early the other day. Big Dice Chronicles. What's up, family? I'm gonna call you today too when I get off the live. I got one meeting after my live, and then I'm gonna call you after that meeting. So don't worry, I'm gonna make sure I hit you up, family. I love what you sent me too, bro. That was crazy. That flow you sent me, Big Dice Chronicles, was off the hook. I let my moderator Cambodian Mystique hear it too. She loved it. Coco, what's up, Coco? I'm trying to see who else is on there because I want to show love to everybody. L'Inquisitive, these are my early birds. L'Inquisitive, Sonja is here. Son, what's happening? Lois Parker, what's up, Lois? Oh, we got my people coming in early. Y'all trying to come in early today. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, share this live, y'all. We talking about the loving Angie Stone, the legendary. My Stoney. I call her my sister, man, because she was that kind of love, y'all. Share this live before we get started. Share it with as many as your friends that are Angie Stone fans, y'all. Share the live. Share the live. Barbara, what's up? Cassie Jones. What's up, Cassie? Hey, listen, you guys. Wilmington, Delaware is in the house. I don't like my city. It's too square. Want to move into the country somewhere. Wilmington, Delaware. Man, I don't meet many people from Delaware, Nita. Hashtag Justice for Angie Stone, you guys. Let's see everybody hashtag Justice for Angie Stone in the comment section, please. Hashtag Justice for Angie Stone. Let's do that, y'all. Hashtag Justice for Angie Stone, please. Let's go. We're about to get into it. All right, you guys. So listen. Let's get into this story. If Angie Stone was here, how she'd be respected by the music industry. I promised you guys that I would not let Angie Stone's name dissipate in any way. I promised you guys that I would not allow her name to leave my mouth. I promised you guys that I would, and I, you know, as Angie, when she was alive, there's a lot of things that she planned to do for the future, you know. So some of those things I want to continue the legacy in her memory. George Tall, what's up, George? Thank you. I appreciate that, George. Thank you. Hold on. Did I say this? Georgetta. Oh, Georgetta. Thank you, Georgetta Wells. I appreciate you. Please share this with your family and friends, you guys. This is going to be a long one because we got to show her the love and the respect that she has earned. We have to show her the love and respect that she has earned. Okay? So we're going to talk about her. And if she was still here, how things would be right now. Let's get into it, you guys. Angela Laverne Stone, born December 18th, 1961. She was an American singer, songwriter, rapper, actress, record producer. Her career spanned over 4 decades. You guys know, you know the logistics. And her contribution to hip hop and neo soul, originally known as Angie B. She rose to fame, you guys, in 1979. Do you know that I was 9 years old? 9 years old then. This is how long she's been in the game. As a member of the group Sequence, the first female music act hip hop, which when she was alive, we used to talk about this. And she was very disappointed that she had not gotten her respect that she should have gotten, you guys. She was truly bothered by the fact that they didn't get the notoriety that they had earned as the first female hip hop group before Salt and Pepper or any female groups. You feel what I'm saying? TLC, you name it. They were the first. And she stressed that to me in conversation. You know, how, you know, she felt like she wasn't properly respected, how the music industry had not given her the respect that she had earned. And, you know, I would tell her, I would say, Stoney, it's okay. I said, you know what? I said, God has a plan for you for the future. This is what I would say to her. I said, God's got a plan. Everything is going to fall in play like it should play. They can't deny you what you have earned. This is what I would say to her. In the early 1990s, she became a member of the R&B group Vertical Hole. You guys remember that? Remember that Seems You Must Too Busy for Me, that single? She became a member of Vertical Hole. By the end of that decade, she pursued a solo career as Angie Stone. She signed that deal with Arista Records. She released her debut solo album called Black Diamond in 1999. Now, you guys got to think, from 1979 to 1999, I'm sure she was already tired spiritually. Because in this business, it can rip you apart. The music industry can rip you apart and it can spit you out in so many different ways. Doesn't have to always be physical. It can be mental. So I'm sure by 1999, from 1979 to 1999, she was already exhausted and tired because this business takes a lot out of you. Understand, you guys, the music industry takes a lot out of you, man. It will dig into your soul. It will dig into your soul. It's just a lot of hard. It's not easy writing songs and always being that person to come up with those perfect hooks and arrangements and melodies. And even worse, when you're the person that has to produce the music as well as write, arrange, and come up with melodies. This album in 1999, Black Diamond, received a gold certification, so it was worth all that hard work. That album went gold, certified by the RIAA, and spawned her single Normal Rain in This Cloud. After that, she co-wrote D'Angelo's album Boo in 2000 and released her second album, Mahogany Soul, in 2001 under J Records, which spawned the hit single Wish I Didn't Miss You. It was followed by Stone Love in 2004. She was hitting them back to back, y'all. She was on fire. And The Art of Love and War in 2007. That later became her first and only #1 album on the U.S. Billboard. Sorry, you guys. Let me tell you why it's weird. They said The Art of Love became her first one and only #1 album. Now, to me, that's strange. And I'll tell you why. Because her first solo album, Black Diamond, in 1999 went gold. So back then, the only way an album would go gold was a few ways. Either people were buying the physical album or you were getting radio play. I just don't see how that album wasn't her first #1 album when it went gold. That makes no sense to me. The Black Diamond album went gold, but it wasn't her first #1 album. That makes no sense to me. That sounds almost backwards. That sounds almost backwards, because from my conversation when we spoke, that's not what she told me. But what's written, they always seem to, like, I don't know, it's weird how they do things in the music industry sometimes, but that makes no sense to me. Anyway, The Art of War was considered, they're saying, her first #1 album on the U.S. Billboard top R&B hip hop albums chart. Maybe that's why, because it was on the top R&B hip hop's album chart. And at that time, back when she released her first album, they weren't blending the hip R&B and hip hop charts were not blended together. So that would probably make sense as to why it's like that. Why that album received the Billboard first. It became her first only number one album and that was only on the U.S. Billboard Top R&B Hip Hop. Because I know that first album charted on the R&B charts as a number one album, Black Diamond. I know it did very well because it went gold. She ventured into acting in 2000, making her first film debut in a comedy called The Hot Chick. You guys remember that movie, The Hot Chick, she was in? Y'all remember that? Her stage debut in 2003 in the role of Big Mama Morton in the Broadway musical Chicago. I don't know if you guys ever saw that musical, but it was incredible. It's on YouTube. You can go find it. That musical was incredible. Angie, she was an incredible actress. And for those of you that never got to see her acting, didn't have the pleasure to see it, I suggest you go find some movies that she was in. Just Google her name and find those movies, because she was an incredible actress just as well as she was as a vocalist, writer, arranger, and producer. Now, before she passed, she called me from Atlanta. She was excited. She was saying, Stone. I said, what? What's Stoney? She said, Tyler Perry called me. I'm going to be in this, I'm doing a series or something, or a movie. I said, man, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you, Stoney. She said, yeah, Tyler called me, so I'm going on set tomorrow. I'll be there a week. So, if you need me, call me. If I can't answer my phone that quick, I'll call you right back. And she called me live when she was on camera on set. They were doing some kind of church scene or something where she was in, and she was excited. This is before she passed. She was so excited. I think eventually they'll put that episode out and you'll see it. I don't know if it's a series or a show. I think she said something to do with the Winans or something. She was telling me something that the Winans wanted her to be in. So she was excited about being back acting again. And I was so happy for her. I was like, man, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? So I told her, yeah, if I need you, I'll call you. And then, of course, I made a few calls and she couldn't always answer. But I was just happy that she was back into her acting, right? So if you haven't seen the musical Big Mama Morton Broadway musical, check that out. Just Google it, see where you can find it, and check Angie out in that. She then went on to appear in roles in films and television series such as several musicals, including VH1's Celebrity Fit Club. You guys saw that too, because I saw that. Celebrity Fit Club and TV1's R&B Divas, and movies such as The Fighting Temptations in 2003. So she was getting her acting on, y'all. She was getting her acting on. Make sure you guys hit like. And when you're coming in, please, if you don't mind, would love, hit that thumbs up. You just watched Fighting Temptations, Coco? Coco says she just watched it. Yeah, her acting was superb. She acted like she was in real life. It was just so natural. Her acting was supernatural. She's in R&B Divas, Celebrity Fit Club, R&B Divas, and movies Fighting Temptations, once again. Also, 2003, Pastor Brown. 2009, Schoolgirls. You guys seen that? 2009, Pastor Brown and Schoolgirls, 2010. Her accolades include 2 Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards and an Edison Award, alongside nominations for 3 Grammy Awards, 3 Soul Train Music Awards. In 2021, she was honored with the Soul Music Icon Award at the Black Music Honors, followed by her induction into the Women's Songwriters Hall of Fame of 2024. Over the course of her career, she has earned 2 gold certified studio albums with a total sales exceeding 5 million records worldwide. She was born in South Carolina. For all of you from South Carolina, she was born in Columbia, South Carolina. Lona Williams Brown and Bobby Williams. Her mom, Lona Williams, and Bobby Williams. He was a lawyer's assistant gospel singer. She was a lawyer's assistant gospel singer. She also attended W.A. Perry Middle School and later C.A. Johnson High School. Brown was also a member of the choir at First Nazareth Baptist Church in Columbia, where she sang her first solo. Listen, you guys, when I say that Angie's history spans from 1979 always, she never stopped working, you guys. Understand that. She never stopped working. Thus the reason it bothered me that she wasn't able to cash in fully on what she had worked so hard for. Imagine working from 1979 consistently all the way up to now. Can you imagine that? And then you look up and you're like, dang, I'm not even really reaping the full rewards of who I am. I'm not even reaping the full rewards of what I've earned myself to be in the position to be in as one of the most prolific songwriters from Soul Nei Soul to hip hop. I don't know if you guys are familiar, when she first signed her first deal was with Sugar Hill Gang, the record label, Sugar Hill Records. And she met Sylvia Robinson, who was the CEO of hip hop label Sugar Hill Records. They auditioned for Robinson, who signed the group to the label as their first female act. While the group Brown adopted the stage name Angie B, they released their debut single Funk You Up in December of 1979. The song became one of the first original hip hop songs. One of the first original hip hop songs to be released without sampling. Funk You Up peaked at number 15 on the Hot Soul Singles in 1980. The Sequence released their debut single, Sugar Hill Presents Sequence, which received positive reviews from music critics. I'm reading this to let you know the span of this beautiful woman's history and why she was so tired and exhausted, you guys. Why she was so tired and exhausted and burned out. And when she spoke, you could hear that energy in her spirit. In 1981, the group began doing session works for other music acts on Sugar Hill Records. They wrote and provided background vocals for Sing a Simple Song and Let's Dance, Make Your Body Move by West Street Mob, the latter of which peaked at number 88 on Billboard Hot 100 chart and number 18 on the Hot Soul Singles. In 1982, the Sequence released their self-titled second album, which peaked at number 51 on the Black LPs chart. They don't even do the Black LPs chart anymore, you guys. I want you to know that. A lot of this stuff, they don't even do it anymore. That was in 1983. And in 1983, they released their third album, The Sequence Party. The Sequence followed up with the release of their single, I Just Want to Know, in 1985. They released the final single, Funk You Up, in 85, In Control. This lady was working her butt off, y'all. And if you've never been a working artist, writer, arranger, producer, you won't get the logistics. Let's just say this. If you've never been a working writer, arranger, or producer, you don't get the level of what they put you through. When I signed my publishing deal with Grand Jury Warner Brothers, my contract stated that I had to have 5 masters a month completed, turned in. But when the company saw that I work as quick as I work, I would write in the range, they changed my contract to, because I was, I'm thinking as a young dude, like, oh, I'm just going to turn in as much as I could. But when they saw I could work like that, then they expected me to deliver those 20 songs a week versus what my contract said, which was 5 masters a month. But I was turning in 20 songs a week with lyrics and music, right? Every Tuesday, right? For real. So I just want you to understand that being a producer and a writer is not an easy job. Then imagine having to be an artist to perform that same material that you're writing for yourself and other artists. The whole thing is a lot of hard work and a lot of long nights with no rest. Understand what she went through. I want you to understand the level of in years of what she had to endure and why her spirit was so tired. In 1985, the group refused to renew their recording contract after a dispute with Sugar Hill Records. Sylvia Robinson. The group's dispute with the label stemmed from not being paid their royalties from the song they wrote and recorded. So this royalty issue with her started early. It started to haunt her early. It was haunting her already earlier in her career with the group she was with. Angie Stone briefly pursued a solo music career and also began working at Kiss FM radio station in New York. Angie B began performing as Angie B Stone, and later simply Angie Stone, carrying the last name of her first husband, Rodney C. Stone. That's the dude that got on the phone and called me, the one that I went on live talking about, the one that called me acting crazy because his daughter lied to him and said that I said she wasn't a Stone, which is what I never said. So that's who they're talking about. That's where Angie got the last name Stone from her husband, Lil Rodney, right? So like I said, you guys should remember him because I talked about him calling me, acting like he was gonna tough up on me, tripping with me, acting the way he was acting, and it didn't really go good. I mean, he didn't have to call me talking like, he was gangstered up and stuff. I didn't get that. I don't get black men act like they can't talk to each other without talking to each other gangster. You just call and talk to each other like civilized men. You don't have to gangster up. But he did that. He tried it and it didn't work. So anyway, in 1986, Vertical Hole, the follow her departure from Sugar Hill Records, Stone made attempts to start a solo career. She began writing solo material and booked studio time at her own expense. Though the studio engineer Gordon Mack III, Stone was introduced to musicians David Bright and Willie Bruno Jr., who were impressed by her songwriting abilities and asked her to write on their songs. While she initially saw the collaboration as just an opportunity to work in the studio for free and have access to team up with musicians, it eventually led to a formation of an R&B hip-hop quartet. Its U.S. name renamed Vertical Hole. They released their first single, Summertime, 1988, on Criminal Records. The group secured a record deal. I'm looking at these weird names, right? Like that. I mean, think about the stuff she went through. Here's a record label she was on called Criminal Records. I'm just kind of like, it's almost like certain weird stuff that happens in artists' lives. We got to be aware and be careful with the kind of names that we line ourselves with. Criminal Records. I would have been like, yeah, cool. I don't want to be signed to that label. That's just weird. You guys are called Criminal Records. Who thought of that name? Like, I would have been like, I wouldn't have signed with the label. I would have been like, bro, like, y'all don't have another name? Why y'all call the label Criminal Records? Those are the questions as a young artist I would ask. How did y'all come up with the name Criminal Records? It was a legitimate question. It would have been, right? So Criminal Records group secured a recording deal with A&M Records. So Criminal Records, I guess they had a deal with A&M Records. And in 1990, Stone performed as a saxophonist for Lenny Kravitz's Let Love Rule tour. In June 1993, the group released their debut album, A Matter of Time. The album peaked at number 33 on the U.S. Top R&B Albums chart. She was constantly having success with Vertical Hole, with Sequence, writing for people. This is the reason why she should have never had to chase no money. Her publishing alone, you're seeing all the records that she had written and the people she's worked with and co-wrote with. Check this out. This album peaked at number 33 on the U.S. Top R&B Albums chart, selling over 62,000 copies in the first week. That's considered good of its release. The album's lead single, Seems You're Much Too Busy, peaked at number 17 on the U.S. Hot R&B Singles chart. And their follow-up single, ASAP, peaked at number 83 on the U.S. Hot R&B Singles chart. Through their parent label, Universal Records, Stone was offered a songwriting deal with Midnight Songs. Now, I have that actual contract that Angie sent to me, and I'll break down the percentages she was getting because I have the actual contract. I'll go over and break down those percentages that she was getting from Midnight Songs, LLC. She was eventually brought in to help newly signed singer D'Angelo complete his first album, Brown Sugar. I feel honored that Angie shared these contracts with me. She wanted me to be up to speed with everything that had in her career. So she gave me all those contracts to look at from her past all the way up to now. So I'm going to literally break down all the percentages and what she was getting in the date that she actually signed those contracts to work on D'Angelo's album. We're going to go over all that. In early 1995, Stone vocally arranged the single Freedom Theme from Panther, which became the theme song for drama-filled Panther. In May 1995, Vertical Hole released their second and final album, Head First. Due to a lack of promotional support from their record label, Vertical Hole parted ways at the end of 1995. Also in that same year, Stone toured as a background vocalist for D'Angelo's Brown Sugar Tour. One of their concerts was recorded at the Jazz Cafe in London on September the 14th, 1995, and released as D'Angelo's live album. Live at the Jazz Cafe is called. In 1998 and 1996, Stone became a featured vocalist for Jerry DeVaux and Charlie Moe, who had formed a group called DeVaux. Now, a lot of people don't know about that group, DeVaux. The group released an album titled DeVaux featuring Angie B. Stone exclusively in Japan. The project caught the attention of Arista Records A&R manager Peter Edge. Peter Edge was the man back in the day, which led to Stone being offered a solo contract with Arista. And here it goes. Here goes the venture of her solo career with Black Diamond, which I've already read, the Black Diamond and what it did, and we'll go into a little bit of detail with Black Diamond. It was released in 1998. It charted Billboard 200 charts at number 9. See, and this is what I'm saying about Black Diamond. You see how they said she didn't have a number one album until the album she dropped in, I forgot what album that is. Let me go back. I'll tell you, because it kind of bothers me when they don't tell the story correct. So they're trying to say that her first album that charted was The Art of Love, right? The first number one album. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. And this is why I'm going to tell you why I disagree with that. Because on her first album, the debut album, Black Diamond, it charted at Billboard's Top 200 chart at number 9. Listen to that. It charted higher. It charted higher than The Art of Love, right? It charted at top 200 in the top 200 at number 9. The top R&B albums chart. So I don't get what they mean. That was her first Billboard charting number 1 album. That's a bunch of bullcrap. I'm not buying it. The album's lead single, No More Rain in This Cloud, peaked at number 56 on Billboard. That's pretty good. The Billboard Hot 100, and also became Stone's first number 1 song. See, there we go. That proved my point on the USA Adult R&B Songs chart. Spending 10 weeks atop the charts, the singles Life Story and Everyday peaked at the top 20 on the UK Hip Hop and R&B Singles chart. Black Diamond was eventually certified gold by both the Recording Association of America and the British Phonographic Industry. Stone also won Best Solo R&B Soul New Artist and Best Solo R&B Soul Single for No More Rain in This Cloud at the 2000 Soul Train Music Awards. Now, I want you to understand, as an artist, when you're charting, it's relatively easy for a major label to chart and act because they got the system down and back. They got the money to market and promote it. But if you can do these same things as an independent artist, chart on any chart, you're making serious way, you guys, because it's not easy to do this stuff. In 2000, Stone transitioned from Arista to music manager Clive Davis. Clive Davis venture J Records. She recorded the theme song for American sitcom television series Girlfriends. Stone's second solo album, Mahogany Soul, was released in October 16, 2001. The album debuted and peaked at number 22 on the US Billboard 200, selling 71,000 copies in its first week. She was doing it, y'all. She never stopped doing it. I want y'all to understand that. She never stopped doing it. Her records never stopped selling. They never bottomed out to zero where there should have not been money there. We know that. This album lead single, Wish I Didn't Miss You, reached the top 10 on the charts in several territories worldwide, including the USA. On the Dance Club Songs chart, the song also became a certified gold by British Phonographic Industry, BPI. The album also produced several additional singles, including More Than a Woman, In Bottles and Cans. At the 2003 Grammy Awards, More Than a Woman received a nomination for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals. Mahogany Soul earned a gold certification by both the Recording Industry Association of America and the British Phonographic Industry in November 2001. Stone embarked on the BK Got Music Summer Tour alongside Luther Vandross, Gerald Levert, and Michelle Williams. I want you guys to understand, man, when you saw her on YouTube, holding back tears, because believe me, I'm sure she wanted to cry, but she was so strong, she didn't allow you to see that side of her. But behind closed doors, she was crying because we spoke on the phone. Yeah. Yeah, she was hurt that her respect that she should have gotten, she wasn't getting. And I encouraged her. And you know what, Stoney? I said, don't worry. Listen, after you do this tour and then you come back, you fly to Vegas, we're doing the residency. My brother was gonna be working on a new album with her. You know what I'm saying? That was gonna be a Grammy nominated album. We already knew. My brother was like, this is gonna be the best album of her history. We're gonna make sure that she gets a Grammy nomination. He already had it laid out. We're going to do a whole new album. I told her my brother's going to do a whole new album. He talked to her. We always on the phone. We're going to do a whole new album. Get the residency done, set up, locked in. She's here performing. And then we're going to go into doing the whole album. And that legacy would have been built the way it should. Had Angie been here, the respect that she would get, the tides would have turned. They still should be turned. I didn't like how BET, the way they showcased her. I feel like she should have been showcased even better, in a better light. And they should have given her more time, and the dedication to her and the little memorial to her should have been longer than what I guess they felt like that was enough. But this is somebody that single-handedly changed the scope of what we thought was neo-soul music and what we thought of it. And when we think of neo-soul music, we thought of her. So she deserved more than that, man. She deserved more than that. I know what it's like not getting the credit, and all of us do. Everybody on this live has been through a situation where you've done so much helping people and you haven't got the credit that you deserve. Boss lady, what's up? Denise Green said her story has said it is. We've all been in a situation. Denise said she was not getting her credit at all. We've all been in a situation where we deserve to be acknowledged for what we have brought to the table. All of us. I want all of you guys to think about that. Every last one of us have been in a position to where we were not respected for what we knew we should have been respected for. It could have been helping a cousin, helping a family member, helping friends, co-workers, and we've been overlooked. Imagine being in the music industry from 1979 up until now. From 1979 to now. And then somebody say, oh yeah, she cool, she all right. We just gonna steal from her. It's good to see you, boss lady. That's right. I am your brother. Oh yeah, we just gonna steal from her. It's all good. We gonna, she need money. We gonna, now don't get me wrong. Every artist borrows against their catalog, but that does not mean that we should go and rob that artist. All of us artists at some point, some more than others, will have to borrow against their catalog. And through the years, Angie has borrowed money against her value. There's nothing wrong with that. That is part of the game. You know how many artists that I've had to help them get money on their catalog, but not sell their catalog? Because she didn't sell her catalog. But she borrowed through the years against it, but it paid itself right back off. So there's no way somebody should have been stealing or taking what she had earned. And there's no way the music industry should not have acknowledged her. I think what bothered me the most is when she passed away, you guys. Nobody was talking about her, and that shit bothered me, and it still bothers me. Nobody was talking about her. No celebrities like they should have. Shirley Caesar did. You had a few celebrities. Music Soul Child got live and talked about her. But some of the people that she used to talk to me about on the phone that she was about to do certain business with, I didn't even see them talking about her. I just didn't see the love that she gave to people. Because, Angie would spend time on the phone with you. She didn't have to know you. She could have just met you for 5 minutes. She'll be on that phone with you for at least an hour. She deserved more, you guys, than what we see. My prediction is this. The music industry will finally recognize her sooner or later and respect her for what she has earned. But it's going to be sad that after death, they have to do this. Why not do this when she was here? The conversations I had with her and hearing it in her voice, hearing the tone in her voice, and all I could say to her is comfort her. Like, it's all good, Stoney, don't worry. Don't worry. People know what you've earned. People know the people that have stolen from you, they know they've stolen. The people that haven't given you your credit, they know they haven't given you credit. Angie really felt like a lot of people were against her. That's what she told me. She would tell me, and I would ask her sometimes. I was like, Stoney, why? Everybody loves you. And she would tell me the people that she felt like were trying to purposely sabotage her careers through the years. I would never mention those names, but she told me those names. She told me those names. That's the reason I was going to have her come on my show. I wasn't going to let her say the names. I just told her, come on my YouTube and, I want to interview you, which I'd never, and that was my fault. Wasn't her fault. She told me, whenever you're ready, Stoney, and she asked me again, when we going to do the interview on your YouTube? She shared with me in detail all the people that she felt ambushed her career through the years. She was. Boss lady, she was. She was. I mean, when you're a good person, you're a good person. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what nobody says about her. I got to know her, and she was a good person. And I wish every person anybody that's met her in a live show, you'll know how much love she has. She took the time out and she would talk to you. Prices, what's up? She would talk to her fans. So any fans that met her will tell you her spirit was loving. Malara said Angie should have been honored and really appreciated when she was alive instead of when she... Exactly. And she's still not properly appreciated. I don't agree with how she's been appreciated. I don't think that's appreciation at no level. I don't think the love that she's shown after she's gone is not equivalent to the love she gave when she was here. And he said, why is it the ones you help and look out for always be the ones to envy you? I just can't. I was talking to this artist yesterday in my meeting, right? This writer, and her and I had that conversation. I was telling her about the people in the music industry that I've helped. Prices says, I agree, so sad. And I was telling her, her name is Margot. She's a great writer. I said, Margot, listen, we were sharing stories, and I said, listen, I've helped so many celebrities, man. I've helped people that I call my brother and sister, and they've done me so cold through the years. Shazza May say Angie Stone gave so much to the music industry. They did not give her the at all. Lawson Wooldridge, 67. What's that mean, Lawson family? I was telling her, I said, listen, I have my own experiences of many people I've helped, and they have never turned around and given that love back to me. Son Journey, what's happening? Y'all know the craziest part about life is when you give so much energy to other people and it doesn't get reciprocated. They don't give you back what you gave. This was Angie's life. She gave so much to so many people. Boss lady said, because the more you help, the more they think you... Absolutely. That's the reason every time she called me, I picked up my phone. You can ask Cambodian Mystique. She was around me a few times when Angie called. Every time Angie called me, I did not miss her call. Lawson, I'm going to block you. If you don't say it, I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes to say what you're saying, and I'm going to block you because, we ain't here for all that extra. Every time Angie Stone would call me, I would always make sure, I didn't care what time of night it was. Lawson, you're about to be blocked. I don't know what's taking you so long to answer, but you seem like spam or you're a troll because you said 67. I don't even know what that means. So I'm blocking you. Goodbye. Sorry. See, I ain't going to do the timeout to people that come in here in a disrespectful way. I'm just going to block you. And we ain't even going to play that. Jimmy, thank you for the members. Thank you for becoming a member, family. Thank you. I appreciate you. You guys welcome Jimmy 0326 to the channel. Felicia Matthews, what's up? Listen, you guys. Sabira D. Jamie said, I wish she was given a chance to receive her kidney. She was doing so much, yet what she had a donor But she was telling me that then they said it was going to cost so much to. She told me she had a donor, I think a family member. She said it was going to cost so much for them to have to. Then that became another issue. Sun Journey, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. And I thank Jimmy for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate you. There's perks for members. Don't forget, you get my CD free. You just pay for the shipping and handling. So if you're interested in the physical CD, both CDs or the vinyl, Jimmy, please let us know. My moderator will give my email address so we can ship that out to you. Angie felt like she was not properly respected. Angie Stone felt that way. And I would sit and listen to her because imagine, sometimes you just got to listen. As a person, sometimes you can't talk. You just got to listen. And I became a very good listener to Angie's conversations because I wanted to learn everything I needed to know so that I could say the right things to her and make sure I didn't make those mistakes that other people made. So I started with making sure that I picked up my phone every time she called. I said, I will not miss one phone call. I don't care what she's calling me for. Boss lady said, I helped a friend of mine many years ago and saved their house. They was getting put out, Stone. And she said her mom was crying. I gave that heifer 10,000. The next day, Stone, a few weeks later, saw her. You didn't see. You said a few weeks later, you didn't see her. Oh, you saw her and she wasn't getting put out. Wow. Did she ever make it right, boss lady? That's completely cold-blooded if she did. I know she had. You ain't gonna get on here and just say something if she didn't do it. That's crazy. Dot to the J say, long live Angie. Long live Angie Stone. Sabara said, so many people may not know how critical ill she was. Lisa Frazier said, I agree, Stone. One night she called me. She said, yeah, you guys welcome Jimmy 0326 to the channel, please, as a member. Jimmy did become a member today. So please, all of you guys, welcome Jimmy as a member to the channel. I want to make everybody that comes in my channel that are members feel welcome. I remember Angie called me one night. First, I missed the call, right? You remember I said I make sure that I try not to miss no call. So I immediately called her. She texted me and said, Stoney, call me. I immediately called her back. I said, I'm sorry. I was in the studio. I didn't hear your call. And she said, yeah. She said, do you have time to talk? I said, yeah, Stoney. She said, I just need somebody to talk to. And you know that, let me tell y'all something. To hear her say, I just need somebody to talk to, but I'm hearing the background. I'm hearing people and the noise in the background. There was people there at her house, but she called me and said, I just need somebody to talk to. And I think she was in her bedroom. Maybe the door was open because I could still hear people. And I said, sure, Stoney, whatever you want to talk about. And she was stressed, worried about her house. She was worried about losing her house. All kinds of stuff, you guys. These are things that I didn't talk about before, but these are real things. She was worried about losing her house. So she sent me all the paperwork to her house so my brother and I could figure out how to help her save her house. She had been fighting that battle with her house for a long time. Sabira said it was said that she never left the band during the accident. She must have been in such a weakened state after performing. When you perform, Sabira, when you perform, you're tired. Those lights zap everything out of you. Those lights on stage will zap the life out of you. Like literally, you feel like you ran 8 miles. You feel like you have ran an 8-mile run. No joke. Sabira says stress on top of stress. Yes, she was not only stressed about the royalties being owed to her, not only stressed about us tracking where her money's at and who was taking it. Greetings, the battle zone. She was also stressed about losing her house. She wanted to make sure she kept a roof over the head for her family. She was stressed about that. And we were trying to figure out options to help save it the right way and then get it out of that situation so there's no more. But because of the time, she couldn't really, because she was doing her dialysis, so she couldn't be on the road. That's the reason for the residency in Vegas, because the residency in Vegas was going to keep her in one place She wasn't going to have to be touring from city to city so that she can do her dialysis here in Vegas and she could do her residency. But the residency was not just going to be her. We were adding other people. She was going to be the queen, and we had a list. She had a list of artists. We had a list of artists that she wanted. She talked about having Music Soul Child. We said okay, and we talked about having a lot of younger artists on the show as well. And it was going to be a show that was catered to respecting and showing love to her. Boss Lady, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. You know, Boss Lady, there's only a few people really continuously always show me love. Boss Lady's one of them. Scorpio's one of them. We got who else? A few other people that show love. I'm trying to remember some of the names. See, you see how I forget if y'all ain't donating super chats? Y'all got to do it all the time. I'm trying to remember. So Sabire said doing dialysis, then getting on the road to perform under those lights, then having an accident is only so much human being can. Exactly. She was tired, you guys. She was very tired. I just want you to understand that. From 1979, I just think from 1979 to 2005, that's a long damn time. From 1979 to 2025, that's a long damn time to be in this business and not get your just due or your respect. How hard would it have been for somebody to say, we're going to give hip hop group of the year to the Sequence and Angie Stone. We're going to do a Jack of all trades awards to Angie Stone and the Sequence. We're going to give Lifetime Achievement Award. We're going to give her star on the Walk of Fame. She earned all that, you guys. And she didn't get it. So can you imagine waking up every morning knowing that you have contributed all that you have to the music industry, and the best that you got is somebody in your peer in the industry say, oh, what's up, Ann? Yeah, let's do a song together, Ann, because they want a piece of her on their record. Everybody wanted a piece of her on their album, but she wasn't good enough for them to lobby for her. Like, let's go fight for Angie Stone to make sure she gets her just due. She even told me, she called me, I think it was November. She said, Stoney, she said, Eric Benet called me. He's got a label. He wants me to sign with him. And I said to her, I said, is it going to be lucrative for you? I said, because you could sign to your own label. I said, what kind of stuff are they talking? You know, what is he talking? You know, and this is what she told me. I wouldn't have known about Eric Benet offering her a deal with, I guess he had a label situation and some major backing. And she told me Eric Benet came to her and offered her a deal with his company. And she didn't take it. Right? So I was like, well, look at if it's going to offer you the money you need and a situation that's going to be profitable for you at this point in your life, I will run with it, I told her. Boss Lady said they should still give her the star. They should definitely still give her a star, period. I don't know. I think she was asking me about the Eric Benet thing to see what I would say. And I told her, sis, if it's going to benefit you, I would take it. You know, if it's going to benefit you and you're going to get everything you need, and that situation is going to catapult you back to certain things, I would say take it. But if the deal's not going to line up to what you want, I'd be like, okay, you can put out your own records under your own label. They're going to have to, once everything is straight, Barbara, they're going to have to, the kids will definitely end up with the royalties because she did have a will. She did have a will, but she never signed it. I know because I know the person that created her will. She had a will, but when he took it to her, she never signed the will. I don't know why. He doesn't know why. Well, we do. We think that Shayna was behind her not signing it. That's what we think. So she did have a will, and Diamond and Michael was in the will as the heirs to everything she had. Half and half. So they're gonna have to definitely give it to the kids. That's gonna happen no matter what. It's just that hoping that they do the right thing to keep their mother's legacy alive. So Byron said, anybody know what's happening with the children now? I don't want to speak on it. Michael messaged me not too long ago and wanted me to call him, but because of all the drama that his sister had created with me for no reason, just, I don't know, just being weird, I told him I don't trust to call him. That's what I said. I'm just keeping it 100. I said, Michael, I said, man, I want to call you, but I said, I don't trust. He says, just me, Stone. I said, yeah, but Lady Sparkle, what's up? I said, yeah, bro, but I ain't trying to deal with no more drama. So I didn't even trust calling him. I didn't even trust calling him because of what I already had to deal with. So I told him, I'm sorry, bro. I just don't trust it. So Byron said, I heard also he's also struggling with the same health. Yes, he had the same. He was in and out at the same time his mom was in. Matter of fact, Angie called me one day and said Michael's back in the hospital. When she got out, he went in. They both were doing dialysis. But Michael's a good guy. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Sabira said, I heard he's also struggling. Let me tell you something. Michael is a good guy. Denise said, why do you think he called? Well, he hit me up on TikTok. He sent a message, then he deleted it. I don't even know why. It was weird. So I sent a message and I deleted mine to let him know that I saw it. And then a week later, he texted me and said, Stone, it's Michael, call me. And I said, what's up? He said, hit me up. I got something to ask you. I said, nah, bro. I said, last time I talked to y'all, your sister was on some bullshit. I said, I don't trust it. I said, I don't trust it. I said, I would love to call. I said, but I just don't trust it, man. I ain't got time for the drama. So I don't know what he called for. I have no idea because I'm not trying to have nobody sit on the phone and record me. I didn't know why they were calling. Were you trying to sit on the phone and record me? Were you trying to call me for drama? Was Diamond going to hop on the phone and then here we go arguing again? I didn't know why. So I just didn't. If he needed help, all he had to do is say, Stone, I need help. I like Michael. With Michael, I never have. I didn't have no problems with Diamond at all. She just created something out of the blue. I don't even know why. I had no problems with neither one of them because I made Angie a promise. She said, please make sure you help Michael, please. She said, I want to make sure Michael gets a record deal and talk to your brother about signing him. I promised her that. But if the person has made it hard for me to do business with him, how do I take that person and go to my brother and then say, can we finish out what we started? My brother's looking at the stuff too, like, yo, all this was a bunch of bull crap with the drama. He's not going to trust it either. Boss lady said, Stone, I would like to ask you, how did the evil driver get out the van, but she didn't, and he was the driver? Did not make sense. All of them got out the van, boss lady. Boss lady, I agree with you. But all of them got out that van. That's something for everybody to think about. All of them got out of that van. That's something to think about. You know, I like Michael. Michael's really a good, and I'm not going to say kid. I don't know why. I guess because Angie would say my kids and to make me say, but he's a good young man. So, Byra, I know I felt the same way even the day when I got the phone call. None of it made sense. None of it, still to this day, it will never make sense to me. And none of the stories, some of the stories are discombobulated. Sparkle said, Q Lady Sparkle said, but Angie, what a coincidence. Rest, exactly. But Angie, Sparkle, exactly. Some things are just not coincidences when you start to, what they say, it's not a coinkadink when you start to put it together. Sabira said, we all have to watch the company we keep. We do. Now, think about this. I told Angie I was going to come out on 3 of the shows. I had sent her a screenshot of the Jazz Cafe thing, but then when I talked to her on the phone, I told her I was going to come to the first 3 shows, but I didn't want to get on no damn airplane. So I would have been at that had I followed my first mind, because she said, come on, baby, come on, Stoney, come on out. And I said, okay, I'm going to catch the first 3 shows. That's initially what I said. But then I all the way up to the last minute, I ended up changing my mind because I didn't want to get on a plane. I think about this every day. So I told her I'll catch her on the East Coast after she left the South. I'll just catch her at that show or the Jazz Cafe. Denise said, not professional at all. They were all living off her and not pulling their weight. You know, I want people to understand, Denise, it's funny you say that. When an artist pass away, your work is done. You better hope you have another job. Because for all those people's background singers, musicians that are playing with artists, and that's your bread and butter, understand if you don't protect them and something happens to them, that's the end of you paying your bills. Lady Sparkle say, prayers, I get emotional. Got to go, love you. I do too, Lady Sparkle. That's why I can't be on camera when I talk about her. Because it breaks me down. That's why I can't be on camera and talk about it. That's why I decided not to turn my camera on today as I'm talking about her. Because every time I start talking about her, it breaks me down. As I'm talking to you, I'm feeling that same way. That's why, Lady Sparkle, have a good day. And we're all sending our love to you. I'm with you. Y'all seen me every time I try to talk to her, radio interviews, I'll talk about her. I break down. So I have to go into a certain mode to be able to have a full conversation about Angie without crying. Angie had been done so wrong with all the stories she told me. I wanted her to believe in people again. So I started with myself. I said, I'm going to show her that not everybody are the same way. So me and my brother began to show her the things that we could do. We weren't making no money with everything we was doing. We weren't thinking about that. My brother even told her, he said, I'm set. I'm not worried about money. I want to make sure you're okay. Don't worry about that. We don't need nothing. I'm going to go make this happen. My brother spent his own money to start putting things together. Nothing was ever taken because we wanted to show her we were there to help her, not to hinder or take away. Sparkle said, thank you, thank you. Hey, boss lady. Yeah, I know when you came on Metsy's Sweet Spot, it's hard. Oh, yeah, when I wasn't really speaking too much, when I was quiet, Sparkle, and I wasn't saying nothing, when I kind of got ambushed a little bit I didn't even know I was on that live. And then I kind of was speaking through somebody else's situation through their page, and then I got off. Yes. Barbara said, do you think she was taken out because she was asking for her money? Barbara, I will be honest with you. There's some things I still have not talked about. There's some conversations I still have that I've not played. I'm just going to say this. It's really a coincidence she started talking about what was owed to her. And we told her don't do the video. We told her don't do it. But she did it anyway. So we had to respect that was her walk. She wanted to do it. We had to respect that's what she wanted to do. But it's just so weird that right after she spoke on it, that happened. It's just very strange. To me, it's just strange. Barbara, it's just very strange. Denise said, you're a professional and wanted success I did. Y'all don't know how many nights I've cried myself to sleep over this. You guys have no idea how many nights I've cried. How many friends around me had to see me cry in ways they've never seen me ever cry. Sparkle said, no, it has to be done. And love to Angie. I'm just praying for Gladys. And yes, I am too. I deal with Gladys Knight's nephew. I'm trying to get him on here. I'm going to see if I can get him on here to interview him. Mystique has seen how I've cried over this back-to-back. Chef Vanna has watched me cry over this back-to-back. Meech has seen me cry over this. Meech and I was in a radio interview, and they asked me a question about Angie, and it was just out of the blue. It's on my YouTube channel. I couldn't even control it. I barely could finish the interview. I started crying. I can't handle, I can't control when it happens, but that's why I can't talk about her much. Barbara said it seems when artists start asking for their royalties and mechanics, they end up gone. Barbara, let me tell you something that's really strange. You want to know something that's really strange? On my Instagram page, probably a week before Angie passed away. No joke. This is no joke. I posted a video talking about how they did Sam Cooke and how it's weird how when people start asking for their money, they randomly end up in a car accident or being on the life. I said that on my Instagram. I want you to go look at that video and look at the date. Yeah, I said it. So when it happened, it freaked me the hell out. And I could see why some people probably start saying crazy stuff about me, because I think some of them watched that video and they're like, how did this dude just say this a week before she passed away? People were trying to connect me to it like I'm connected in a bad way. But that was my spirit talking. I had no idea. I literally said, whenever artists start asking for their money, weird stuff happens. Like, look, I was like, look at Sam Cooke. And weird stuff happened, like car accidents. I said it exactly like that. And people get on the live. Love Jones said, hey, Stoney in chat. Every time I hear Angie's name, I pray the truth. Love Jones, trust me, ain't no way out of it. The truth will surface to the top. Sparkle said, all I'm going to say is look at some of these artists of the R&B Divas tells a lot. I'm going to be reviewing it, especially Nikki Gilbert with The Brat and Kelly Price, Stacey Francis with, come on. Lady Sparkle, you're on to something. Come on. All of it is tied together. We pray for our stoners. Love you. Hey, Lady Sparkle, we love you too, and I appreciate you. Barbara says because you know what you're talking about. Sparkle say, Otis Redding, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Prince, Michael Jackson. We shall we go down the list? I don't even want to get into it. Listen, you guys, this is why at the end of the day, I might be independent, right? I might be an independent artist, but at the end of the day, I own my catalog. I own my catalog. I control my catalog. Nobody controls my catalog but me, Stone Paxton. And I encourage artists to control their catalog. And if you don't have control of it, if you got to buy and own your catalog, do it. Barbara says, Salt and Pepper are now demanding their money. I hope with Salt and Pepper, what happened was they signed a deal back in the day that they didn't realize. These deals are called vanity deals. It's when the producer has the deal with the record label. Denise, thank you for the $5 super chat. It's when the producer has the deal with the record label, you guys. And so those deals go a little bit different. I don't think they realized what they had signed. Boss Lady says she knew what was up, Stone. She saw it coming. She knew she had evil serpents in her home, so she started moving different. But the play was already in motion. Y'all want to know what Angie's last two phone calls to me was? Let me give you one of the last phone calls to me. It was very profound. I was in my studio. One of my friends was here. Chef Banner was here in my studio too. She'll tell you. She heard her on the phone on speaker. She called. She said, hey, baby, it was in the evening. I said, hey, Stoney. She said, yeah, I'm just calling you to talk to you. I said, okay. Boss Lady, thank you. I appreciate that. She said, I'm just calling to talk to you, baby. I said, okay. I said, Stoney. I said, okay, what's up? You good? She said, no, I'm good. She said, what you doing? I said, I'm in the studio working. She said, well, I won't bother you too long. I said, no, forget all that. So my friend was here. I was helping my friend set up her DJ turntable, and then Chef Banner was sitting in the studio with us, and I put it on speaker. Let me tell y'all what she said. She said, I just wanted to call you to tell you, in case nothing works out, I love you and your brother. You tell your brother I love him and I love you. And I said, Stoney, I said, everything's gone. I said, don't say that. I said, everything. She said, I'm just saying because you're working so hard, baby, and I appreciate y'all working so hard. But if things don't work out, just know that I still love you, and no matter what, I love you. I will, Sparkle. Sparkle, Q, I'll hit you. I get off the live. I got a couple meetings, and I got to call somebody else. And then I'll hit you up. I inbox you. That's what she said to me last, you guys. She said, if things don't ever work out, if we never get to where we need to get to with everything, and I never get my money, and we don't get to do the residency, she said, just know that I loved you, and I know you and your brother work hard. You know, I just was confused why she said it. And I was like, Stoney, I said, nah, let's not talk like that. Everything is going to work out. Chef Banner was right there next to me. My friend Connie was right there next to me. They both heard the conversation. So when she passed, I forgot about the conversation. So Connie calls me. Connie say, you know, I think it's so strange, Stone. I said, what? She say, do you remember the last thing she said to you? I said, nah, I don't. She said, you don't remember that phone call in your house? I said, oh, yeah, I do. She said, you don't remember what she said to you? I said, you know what I do? She said, that was so strange. And she repeated what I just said. She said, it's like she knew. It's like she knew, like her spirit knew. Because why would she say that to you when she know you guys were right there at closing the deal? She was going to fly out to Vegas after she came off the road so that we can solidify and finish out that deal. And we were already in the midst of collecting her royalties back to her. We had already found where a lot of it was. It was just being reverted back to her and her name, publishing and stuff, right? And then we had a conversation about mechanicals and where some of that stuff was. Barbara said it was said that Clive's party went on while his cash cow laid on the line. Yeah, that's what they say. I was supposed to be at that Grammy party. That one I didn't go to. But according to all my friends that were there, they said she was upstairs in her room and the party went on. That's what I was told via phone calls when that went down. But I supposed to have been there as a Grammy member. I didn't show up. I don't know. Sometimes I don't go to the Grammys. Most of the time I don't. I plan to go and then I look up and I don't go to the Grammys. And I do that all the time for some weird reason. I don't even know why. I just follow my spirit, whatever my spirit tells me to do or not do. I want you guys to understand. I feel like Angie knew. The Big Dice Chronicles said, great afternoon, Stone. Salute the chat. Big Dice Chronicles, what's happening, family? When I get off this live, I'm going to call you as soon as I'm off the live. I just want you guys to understand that she knew. She knew something. She knew that sometimes maybe her spirit knew. Maybe her spirit just knew. But she knew, because why would she say to me, even if things don't work out, I love you and your brother. You let him know I love him and I appreciate everything you guys have been doing and making happen and the things that you're trying to make happen. Even if it don't happen, I still love you. I love the both of you guys for working so hard for me. Cambodia Mystique say you are protected, Stone. She knew something. I'm telling you. I was privy to be able to talk to her about certain stuff. And I am happy that I had the time that I had with her and us trying to do what we needed to do. That time that I had with her, to me, will be cherished for the rest of my life. Shout out to Shaka. I love Shaka. She's a beautiful person. Every time I'm around Shaka, she's always been nothing but loving. Jimmy said Angie knew. Yes, she did. Listen, she would not get off the phone without she's going to talk about the Bible. She reminded me of my mom because her conversation was always about the Bible and God. The Big Dice Chronicle said her song, I Wish I Never Loved You Anymore, It Will Never Go Away. That is a classic. And, you know, I put one of my friends on the phone with her, right? His name is the guy that rapped on this song that I'm playing, Hug Biz. He said that he always loved Angie, and he kept saying that to me, man, I love Angie. So I called her one day, and I said, Angie, I said, will you talk to a friend of mine? And she said, yeah. And I put him on the phone, and he told her how much he loved the brother song, and he was just, boy, she was so happy to hear that. Sparkle said, I will say this, I don't go to Vegas and I don't go to Cali. I feel you on that. Sparkle said, thank you, you weren't there. I supposed to have been on the first 3 shows. I told her I was coming. If you're talking about Angie or you talking about the Grammys. Barbara said Whitney knew she would be next after Michael. Well, think about it. Whitney whispered something to Brandy that night. Why would she do that? She's never done that. Sparkle said all of this with Tupac and Biggie is all connected. I said it before and I'll say it again, but love you guys. Yeah, Lady Sparkle, and I knew the both of those guys. I knew Pac way better than Biggie. I didn't know Biggie like that, but I met him a few times. Victory said, wow, she was truly, she was. She was. Love Jones said, she did say there were attempts on her life. I don't understand why her family isn't fighting for answers. Please forgive me. I did not know Angie. But you got to understand, when you have kids who just don't know, they don't know. They don't know. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not that they don't want to fight. They don't know, and they don't know how to fight. When you've never had to fight for yourself, you're definitely not going to know how to fight for your mother. Lady Sparkle said, I'm not playing with the game anymore. I'm blasting. Lady Sparkle, I feel you. I'm with you 100%. But you know what's so funny, Lady Sparkle? You know, I noticed how when I was going through that stuff, how people were trying to negatively connect me with Angie instead of looking at how I was connected with her in a positive way. They were really, a lot of people online was really going negative against me. And I was trying to figure out, like, why y'all coming at me crazy? Boss Lady said, always follow your spirit, guys, Stone. Always follow it. That's God talking to you. I know. I know, Boss Lady. I think about it every day. The Big Dice Chronicles said, look at God work. The Big Dice Chronicles, I told her I was coming to the first 3 shows. Because I even told her I'll be there. So if you need any help with anything, I'm going to come to the first 3 shows when you go back on the road. I just didn't know what first 3. I was planning on going to those first 3, but in my mind, I was like, long as I catch 3 shows, she'll be happy to see me there. Denise said she knew if you listen to the words in all her songs, it sounds like it was a message through her music. It was her time. God needed her to help more angels. Yes, absolutely. The Big Dice Chronicle said, allegedly, she said to Brandy, girl, these people are trying to kill me. And Big was my friend in real life. I begged him not to go to California. He could barely walk. Lil C's just crashed. Listen, Big Dice Chronicles, you know who Rufus Black is? Because that's one of my writing partners. You've seen videos of Rufus on my channel. He wrote a lot of hits, Salt and Pepper stuff. He worked with he was just with Lil C's. He wrote a lot of Faith Evans stuff. Salt and Pepper's records, and the list goes on. So he put me on the phone with C's and Faith and other people. I met Biggie when Puffy first signed Biggie. I met him in DC at the Black Radio Exclusive Conference. That's where I first met Pac, became friends with Pac. That's where I first met Fab from Milli Vanilli and became really good friends with him as well as tons of other people. Everybody was there. Barbara said then her kids had that snake. Shayna, yeah. Shayna was definitely an issue. Yeah, that's my partner, Big Dice Chronicles. That's one of my writing partners. If you go on my YouTube channel, just type in Rufus Black and Stone Paxton. You'll see us in the studio. Rufus is an incredible writer. So Rufus wrote a lot of records for Angie too. Rufus worked. Angie was like Rufus' mom. Nadine said, hello, Stone in chat. Thank you for always being a voice of reason, Stone. I always love how you always honor your mom's precious memories. I do the same. Yeah, thank you, Nadine. Yeah, my mother honestly taught me to love and share the love and kindness and all that. She taught me all that, even though I wasn't raised by her, but she was my mom. She could do no wrong. She was powerful. Yeah, hashtag justice for Angie Stone. So my thoughts is if Angie was here, we would have been working on her new album because she was in the process of ready to work on her new album. She was ready. She was ready, you guys. She was ready to work on her new album. She was excited. The Big Dice Chronicle said, that's exactly my dream to write. I got serious pen game. Your pen game is dope. Also, the Big Dice Chronicles, my boy Easy Mo B produced Biggie's earlier records and Pac's earlier stuff. Boss Lady say they was trying to distract the situation, Stone, and throw the crap your way. But anybody, exactly. Listen, let me tell you guys something that happened to me. I've never shared this. I've never shared what I'm about to share with you guys. Vicky say, wow, God bless your mom and all mamas. Exactly. My mom was amazing, y'all. So, okay. So check this out, what happened to me. So I think on my volume, why Angie Stone mentioned my name, number 6. I think I was on number 6 or 5. I end up getting this weird TikTok message. And I'm not going to say what company it's from. Love Jones said the Vegas show would have been... Love Jones, you have no idea the people we talked about being on this Vegas show. The Big Dice said, I know him too from LG in Brooklyn. It's a small world, Stone. I just would never compromise. Yeah, I agree with you. Big Dice, I would have never compromised my integrity no matter what. It's not even that serious. So as I was doing that, why Angie Stone mentioned my name, 1 through 5, I think 5, I get this weird message in my inbox. And I've never shared this message with nobody, right? It was from a film company. Okay, it was from this film company out of Atlanta, somewhere like that, and it went like this here. It said, "Can I talk to you?" I said, "I'll give you. I have my manager contact you." Right, and then I didn't respond for 2 hours. Well, they didn't respond for 2 hours because I wasn't trying to even respond when it was just a weird message. I said, yeah, you could talk to my manager. You know, I'll give my manager your number to call you, right? Or something like that. They hit me back 2 hours later and say, wait. They said, wait, that hasn't, no, they said, wait. They say real quick. That's what they say. Wait, real quick. That hesitation, it's not hesitation. You're standing at the door, right? It was like a question. You're standing at the door, right? That leap is not a leap. It's your next step into something. And it said, it gave me options, A, B, C, and D. No bullshit, y'all. It said, A, what are you looking for? Or something like that. What are you looking for? A, notoriety. 2, longevity and success. 3, something, I don't know, something weird like wanting to money or something like that. And then 4, still trying to figure it out. Then I didn't respond. And then they came back with that hesitation is not hesitation. It's your next something. It's a leap. It's your next opportunity or some shit like that, right? It was weird. You guys, I'm telling you, it was weird. I really believe whoever that was, somehow that situation was connected to what was going on. I think they were trying to trick me into responding to like, all right, well, you know what y'all want? And I think somebody was trying to either get me on the phone to talk or to offer me some money to shut up and stop talking about Angie at that time. That's really what I believe. I'm not even bullshitting y'all. Like, that's exactly what they said to me. And I showed this to a few people. I showed a few people this message and I showed Cambodian Mystique. I showed Chef Ben. I showed some of my other people around me. And people told me they know who owned that film company. Now, I'm not mentioning no names because y'all know how I get down. But let's just say this. Why would somebody contact me to want to talk to me? And then when I tell them to talk to my manager, they go into these options and tell me that hesitation is not a hesitation. It's a leap. You know, I'm right at the corridor, in other words. Like, listen, Cuzzo, I sent that to you, right? Because you saw it. I sent it to you, right? We did break the code. We already knew what was up with that. Denise, for real. That's what they said to me. So that kind of freaked me out, right? I was like, yo, why would somebody send me that? Why would somebody send? Why would they send me that? To this day, I still wonder who was behind that message. And what was it I supposed to do? Was I supposed to call? They were going to offer me money to shut up, get me on a phone call, accepting the money, saying, how much y'all going to send me? 5, 10 grand to shut up? And then all of a sudden make it look like somehow I was involved with something that I wasn't, because I said, okay, you want me to shut up? I'll take whatever money. So I knew it was some weird trick. So I did not entertain it. I did not message them back. I actually blocked them. but I still got the message inside of my Instagram. It was strange and weird. And then I get this guy. Now, these are things I'm telling y'all for the first time. Then I get somebody hit me up through another friend of mine, and my friend say, call this person. I said, nah, man, I ain't trusting calling nobody. It's crazy right now with this Angie Stone. He said, nah, Stone, they cool. They cool peeps. And this guy proceeds to tell me to come to Atlanta. Now, I don't know this guy from the rocks on the ground, right? He tells me, yeah, you need to come to Atlanta, you and other content creators. I was like, that's kind of weird. Jimmy, yeah. This guy I never met was trying to get me to come to Atlanta. You should come to Atlanta and, y'all need to come here and, stand up for Angie and do this and do that. And I was like, so I connected him with another content creator. So, because he has some stuff he wanted to share with me. I said, I'm going to connect you with this other content creator. Give him a call and tell him what you're dealing with and tell him I sent you, right? Cuzzo Ty said this was all going down when we were in the heat of, exactly, Cuzzo. Ty Deuce, yes, it was. This person asked me to come to Atlanta like I'm stupid. Like I'm going to show up at that time with all that crazy stuff going, oh, yeah, I'll go back to Atlanta. But it was real weird. They were trying to get me there. I think they was trying to get me to shut up because I was bringing so much attention to this Angie Stone thing. And getting me to Atlanta was to have somebody possibly visit me to shut me up. That's what I felt like what was up. Because why would you tell me? You don't even know me. Why would you tell me to come to Atlanta? And this particular person knew certain people that was around Angie. I'm just going to say that. This certain person that asked me to come to Atlanta knew certain people that was around Angie. Denise say to try to, exactly. That's what I really believe. CC's in Greece, you guys. CC, it's good to see you. Ty Cuzzo said, but we had them scrambling and scrapping. Yes, we did, cuz. Worse than Nor and Diddy. And listen, and let me tell you something. This is why right after that, I got attacked by an online content creator. And I'm not going to say that person's name because, we cool now. But literally, when I ignored that email from those people, that message, the next day, there's a live that somebody's going live about me the next day. And they're about to go in on Stone Paxton. And I was trying to figure out, why is this person going in on me so hard? But it was so weird. Because coming from that message to that person, I started to feel like somehow that person was connected to those people. That's what I thought initially, right? I said, this is weird. I wonder if they got him doing that. I really believed that in the beginning. I felt like somebody had sent him to harass me. Somebody that I wasn't dealing with sent that dude to harass me. That's the way I felt at that time. Because it was too strange that I wouldn't respond to their message on Instagram with all those A, B, C, D, and A, B, and C, and D questions. And then this person the next day sets a live to go and, say whatever they're going to say about me negative to make it look like I did something to Angie that I did not do. Matter of fact, they said that Clive Davis sent me. They said I unalive Tupac. They said I unalive DMX. This is what the internet was saying. I want y'all to understand the madness of the internet. This is the madness of the internet and the insanity of the internet. Shazamay, hashtag Justice for Angie Stone. Thank you. Ty said they had our phones on fire. Yes, they were, Kozo. They were calling you. They were calling me. Yo, the Big Dice Chronicles, this shit was crazy. They said I unlike Angie. I unlike Pac because they knew I knew Pac. And I unlike DMX because I'm connected to DMX because my close friend is DMX's best friend. Jimmy say, sounds like you made the COINTELPRO. Yes, Jimmy, 0326, exactly. They said Clive Davis sent me. I was a hitman for Clive Davis. This is what the internet was saying. Victory said that means the silence was working. The results is harassment. Sad, but this is 2025. And then they said, there's Banner in. Banner was sitting there on the phone when Angie called me with that last phone call. She'll tell you. She heard the phone call when Angie was saying the stuff that she said about, If nothing ever works out, she loves me, and she just wants me and my brother to know she loves us, and how we work so hard for her. And if nothing works out with the residency or her getting her money, she still loves us. That's just what she said. Boss lady said, that was a massive play, Stone. Thank the Most High you did not go. Listen, boss lady, not only that I did not go, don't forget the text message. The Big Dice Chronicle says, Stone, you got family everywhere. Trust me, you are safe wherever you go. I got you. The Big Dice Chronicles. Thank you, family. So here's the crazy part, the Big Dice Chronicles. My cousin said, yep, said I was sent by Clyde Davis all the time. Yeah, they were saying crazy stuff. But Big Dice Chronicles, think about the message I was sent from that film company in my inbox. Denise say you were being framed. That's exactly what I felt like they were trying to do, Denise. You know what I'm saying. Denise, you know where I'm going with this. That's what I'm saying. Denise said you were being framed because you came out saying this is why Angie mentioned my name. They were spinning the net. Exactly. They wanted me to shut up. Somebody wanted me to go away and shut up. And then I started having these women contact me and tell me these things about certain situations that was involved deeper, even deeper. And these women were scared and they didn't want me to share their names. It got crazy. It got so crazy that I stopped taking people's messages and phone calls on Instagram. It was that kind of scary, y'all. Now, I wasn't scared to the point to where I stopped talking. If you guys remember, I kept going. And so then the internet starts saying, well, he's not scared. He's got to be a part of this. Because anybody that would know as much as Stone knows will be scared. Why is the guy not scared is what they said about me. Why isn't he scared? Well, I had no reason to be scared because I hadn't done anything to anybody and I had not wronged anyone. I was speaking my truth. And if somebody was going to hurt me over me speaking my truth, then God damn it, they come at me, I'm coming at them at the same time. That's the way I felt about it. I felt like, okay, you come at me, I'm going to come at you. There was weird cars pulling up at my house, trucks. I was coming out with my 9 Glock and my AK. I was at night. I was coming out to cars at 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes. I live in a cul-de-sac, so there's no reason for nobody to be pulling up in front of my house. But best believe I was coming outside with my shit. Victory said, because you did nothing wrong. Why should exactly? And I wasn't scared. The Big Dice Chronicles say everything is a phone call away. My arms are longer than people imagine. And the Most High has exactly Big Dice Chronicles. You're another one of them angels I got in my circles, family. And I appreciate you for that. Real talk. But look, one truck pulled up tinted windows. I never talked about this on my live. Tinted, when all that shit was heated, one truck pulled up in front of my house, tinted windows, did a U-turn, parked across the street. I'm looking off my balcony because I got 3 stories, so my house sit high, and I went to the top floor. Exactly, Brother Jim, because it's like I shouldn't fear nobody but God, right? Exactly. So I peeped them out for a minute. Then I went and got my piece, and I walked out towards their truck. When they saw me walking out towards their truck, what's up, Damaged Kisses? When they saw me walking out towards their truck, tinted windows, I couldn't see who was inside. They started that motherfucking truck up and took off. I wanted to let them know, you pull up and ain't no reason for nobody to be up at my house if you ain't welcome here. I literally live in a cul-de-sac and all the land in front of my house is my land. There's no reason for nobody to park in front of my house because you block my driveway. Ain't none of that. That ain't no reason to be here. So anybody that pulls up to my house, the first thing I do is go out. They don't get out their car and go to a neighbor's. I'm outside at their car. Like, what's up? Are you looking for somebody? Why are you in front of my house? I do this all the time, day or night. It don't matter. Night's even scary because I come out in all black and they don't even see me coming because I creep out. And before they know it, I'm over on the passenger side of the driver's side with my thing in my hand. Ty said, my cousin said somebody was trying to sign. Yeah, for real. Yo, it was crazy, y'all. I want y'all to understand. And all I did, the Big Dice Chronicles say, I know that's right, facts. The Big Dice Chronicles, when I tell you it was crazy and my phone was ringing ringing from various numbers because this online dude had people doing some wild stuff calling me. I think sometimes people get things twisted. God made us as men, and our job is to protect ourselves and to protect our families. And I'm one of them. I was raised by real solid OGs. You ain't just gonna think that you're gonna pull up and then I'm gonna be the the nerdy guy with the glasses and be like, hey buddy, how are ya? Just sitting there looking at the sun? No, hell no. What are you doing in front of my house? They were trying to, but I only person I'm scared of is God. Boss lady said they came at you, you gave it to them. I did. And boss lady, you gotta understand, I had to fight this battle online by myself. My cousin was there. Yeah, we was ready. Trust me, I had people in the trenches. Meech came up and Meech had my back on certain stuff. I had people in the trenches now. I had people in the trenches that had my back in a real way. Some of them you probably didn't see. Most of them you wasn't gonna see, but they were there. They were there waiting. But I don't call on people for that. I'm the kind of guy where if I gotta handle something, I'm gonna go handle it by myself. So if something happens, ain't nobody gonna know what happened because I'm the only person that did it. I went and did it myself. Jimmy said we must unite and expose the wickedness in it. Yes, facts. Jimmy 0326, that's a fact. I am always going to protect myself and my family and my circle. And I will not allow nobody to do anything to me because I don't do anything to anybody. Period. I don't mess with nobody. I reserve the right not to be messed with. And that's just respect. And any real man will respect that. Any real man that knows that they got to go mess with a person that's not bothering them knows that they could be the toughest person in the world. But the first thing they're going to think is, I'm about to pull up on somebody I've never pulled up on. I don't know the level of this person. This person ain't done nothing to me. I'm about to pull up on somebody that's never done nothing to me. It might not go the way I think it's going to go, no matter how tough I think I've been through my life. This might be my last day pulling up on this dude that ain't never bothered nobody. My life might end right there at that person's door or outside of their yard. That's why you don't fuck with people that's not fucking with you. So I was confident that I was going to defend myself and protect myself at any cost once you stepped into my yard and in my way. I'm not coming to you, but you come to me and you step to me, I am going to do what I have to do, and I am going to call the police when it's done. Be like, there you go. Come pick them up. Denise said you didn't deserve that at all. Yes, it was. That was 100% harassment. Now, Big Dice Chronicles, I don't know if you know this, but I was told by a content creator that they were going to unalive me on YouTube live and get out in 12 hours because they've done it before. They pow-powed somebody and got out in 12 hours. Georgette said, God will give Angie victory at his own time. Angie Stone is going to get victory. Ain't nothing going to change that. It's going to happen. Now, Big Dice Chronicles, this person that made that statement about me had no idea the family I got all over the place. And some he knows. This particular person, because there was a lot of different situations going on with the Angie Stone thing that was coming at me. But this particular person actually got on YouTube and said they were going to... Listen, hey, Levi Bond, what's happening, family? Good to see you, family. The Big Dice Chronicles, they said they were going to unalive me on YouTube Live on their channel. Put my pictures up, talked about me, talk about how they going to get out because they did it to somebody before. They'll be out in 12 hours with their lawyer. Mind you, I've never met that person in my life. Denise Green said, I remember that. Now, mind you, I've never met this person in my whole entire life. Kept calling me, harassing me, trying to get people to call me, calling my phone. But see, I'm one of them smart dudes. First of all, I don't answer my phone to nobody. We have to know each other. For me to even, you got to be in my phone. I don't just answer random phone calls. I don't care who it's from, family. Private call, I don't answer those. So you can call my phone 100 million times. And if I don't know you, it's never going to get answered. Period. It is never going to get answered. You will be sitting there ringing that phone. And that's what they did. They were trying to ambush me live on that person's channel. Levi said, always fam, I heard the music industry on live, Angie. Yes, some crazy stuff, bro. Brother Levi, is some crazy stuff. Hey, Big Dice Chronicles, this is real. This really, really happened. Denise, thank you. Denise Green, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Jimmy say facts. Angie already won. She's in paradise. And Joshua, she has. And the truth is going to be revealed. Damaged Kisses said, you never know what kind of day someone is having either. Not an excuse to harm or unalive anyone, but some people are waiting for something to come their way, waiting to hurt. Exactly. Nobody knew the state of Stone Paxton's mind. I could have been a cuckoo nut. And you talking about what you gonna do to me? Victor says, stand your ground laws need to be enforced all over. It will cut a lot of harassment. They definitely need to revise the laws in every state. But I'm showing you what I dealt with, you guys, because I was speaking up for Angie, who could no longer speak for herself. And I was only telling my truth with my relationship with Angie and what has happened and what I knew. And they were trying to stop me from saying anything. The Big Dice Chronicle says, Stone, you wouldn't believe that happened to me. What? On YouTube, and the same night my family was at their home. But they totally switch up their words. Somebody said that to you, Big Dice? Are you serious, fam? Damn. See, this YouTube can be wicked. Damaged Kisses said that is something I've had to work on myself with reaching. As far as when I'm driving, people snap over the stupidest. Yeah. Damaged Kisses, we got to control that one because I'm guilty sometimes of that, but I check myself. The Big Dice Chronicle said, I don't bother anyone, but I'm a Sharon McLeod son. Facts. I'm Sharon McLeod. Hey, come on now. They better say that name loud, the Big Dice Chronicles. Yeah, I mean, I spoke for Angie because there was nobody to speak for Angie Stone. I spoke my truth with my relationship and friendship with her because nobody could speak that part of it. My cousin Ty say you can't be saying things like that these days because that talk can be taken. Yes, it can, easily. Brenda Grant said, hashtag justice for Angie Stone. Thank you, Brenda. Big Dice Chronicle said, Damaged Kisses, there's a lot of people in the world that don't let them get on. Exactly. Yeah, we can't, Damaged Kisses. Listen, if I had to do it again and go through what I went through to stand up for Angie Stone and speak for her, I would do it again. Denise said, you stood 10 toes down. I did. I did. And I had to think about what she stood for so that I could keep going. But only thing I didn't do is I didn't play those recordings. And I'm going to be honest with you. I probably would never play those recorded conversations. At first, I was thinking about posting those. But then I said, you know what? I said enough. I don't need to say anything else. There will be a time where I can actually release those recorded conversations, but right now is not the time. Right now is not the time. Those meetings, those recorded meetings that I have, the one with me and Angie and some folks that she wanted me to record, and another one with us going off on a person that she said was taken from her. The Big Dice Chronicle said, on my mother's soul, people are crazy, but they don't understand. God loves me. He proves, man, come on, man. Come on, Big Dice. They don't get it. Jim0326 said, thanks for standing up for Angie Stone. You're a stellar individual. Considering nobody in the music industry wanted to say one word about what had happened to her freaked me out. Considering all the people she spoke to me about, people spoke at her funeral, but nobody got on YouTube and did what I did. Have y'all thought about that? I want you guys to think about something. Nobody on YouTube got on, nobody in the music industry got on YouTube. Shirley Caesar said some things, God bless her heart, but none of the people that Angie mentioned to me got on YouTube. Nobody, everybody said they loved her so much, but not one celebrity got on there and spoke the way I spoke about her. We should have had 20 celebrities talking just like I was talking, and they never did and never have. We should have had 20 celebrities talking about her the way I did, and none of them did. Tell me why. Even the people she mentioned to me never spoke about her like that. Never got on there and tried to fight for her. What happened? What's the truth? Blah, blah, blah. Let's just talk about Angie today. Let's talk about my sister Angie. None of the celebrities got on there and said that. Hey, you guys, today we're going to talk about Angie Stone because I work with her. You know how many people she worked with? And nobody had nothing to say. Everybody was quiet. Ask yourself why. Love Jones said, you're the only one that I have seen go hard. Exactly. Nobody has done it, Love Jones, which is still bothering the shit out of me. Barbara said, Love showed who really cared for Angie. Cuz Otai Do said frauds. But yet, BT does this thing. You got people up there, oh, Angie, she was out. Shut the fuck up. Stop faking the funk. Y'all didn't love Angie like that. Because you guys would have been on your YouTube. You're a celebrity. Cambodian Mystique said, remember Stone, she didn't really have many people who she could speak with. Cambodian Mystique would sit around and hear to me. She would hear it. She would hear the conversations. She's another one. Not her, Shep Banner. People in my circle would hear me on the phone having meetings. Cambodian Mystique would tell you. She heard those meetings. Love Jones said it was so weird, like Twilight Jones. Brenda said, you were right. No, none spoke on Angie. Only you. Shirley Caesar said something didn't make sense. But the ones that she really talked about and she loved, they deserted her, Shazamay. Yes, they did. Victory. Yes, they did. The ones she told me about. Music Soul Child spoke at her funeral. But even him, I felt like he could have done more. I felt like he didn't do enough. I felt like he could have got on his YouTube channel. He could have got on his Instagram and said, this ain't right. We need justice, y'all. Boss Lady said, that's why I love you, my brother. You spoke up and was not playing no games. Yeah, don't post those things yet, Stone. Wait until they get what's coming to them. Exactly. You're right, Boss Lady. I won't post it until the right time. You're a real G, real Stone. Thank you, Boss Lady. I appreciate you. Barbara says, seems like the celebrities would have flooded her. Did you see? It wasn't, if you seen the funeral, count how many celebrities that she worked with, especially the ones she worked with that were there, that she did duets with. Nadine said they were mad at you for speaking truth and shedding light. They were jealous of your relationship love for Miss Angie. God help you. Exactly, Nadine. That's what it was. Because why would you? And remember in the beginning, I was saying we all need to work together. Content creators, we all need to work together. That's all I was saying. Denise said you were the only real friend, family, businessman. That's facts. Felicia said, "Thank you, Stone, for standing up for Angie. When you spoke up, that's when I started listening. I heard all the stuff that clown said about you and even had that tarot reading talking back. Listen, let's talk about the tarot reader. If y'all remember me saying, when that tarot reader find out that she lied and that lie she was talking about, she read the cards, she needs to change her job. I actually need to go on her YouTube and say, have you changed the job you're doing now? Because you made up a lie about me. Talking about you read the cards and this is what you saw about the Stone Paxton guy. He did this and did that to Angie. You lied, tarot card reader. That's why the Bible speaks against reading cards and that shit. The big guys say they owed her so much money and it's just so sad how this played out. It was. Yeah, Nadine, that tarot card reader was full of shit. Barbara said there were not many celebrities. Exactly. All the people she knew, everybody from TV, film, and music should have been there. Kanye West and Kyrie Irving was treated the same way by their peers when they stood for the truth about the original descendants. Yes, they were, Jimmy. Damage says, I saw none of that. No idea who you're talking about. Oh, it was a psychic lady. Nadine, thank you for the $9 super chat. I appreciate you. My cousin Ty said, Denise said, exactly. Ty said, what's weird, though, I noticed the same distance with Malcolm Jamel, too. Nobody's speaking up about the real answer to his unaliving, man. Exactly. No celebrities are talking about him either. It start making me wonder what's going on in this celebrity circle. The circle that I'm around. That's why I don't be going to the fuck parties. Boss Lady said, and Alicia Keys, I burnt up all her songs. She spoke terrible about Angie. They was all fake, Stone, and at least we know how they felt about. Yeah, she told me all the people that had the hate sauce on her. The Big Dice Chronicle said, unfortunately, people are so afraid of dying, they don't have a relationship with God, and they just choose to stay quiet because of fear of the same thing happening to them allegedly. The Big Dice Chronicles, exactly. But guess what? I stood on what I believed in. She was a good woman. And everything I was saying was the truth. So there was no need for Stone to be scared of nothing and nobody. Look, nobody's speaking about Malcolm. He was a great guy. Nobody's speaking about Malcolm. And the stories are so all over the place, now you don't even know what to believe. Shazamay say they were not sincere. Angie Stone was a different caliber. Then somebody hit me up talking about go over to such and such channel. They're speaking the truth. I was like, get the fuck up out my channel. I just ignored the message. Like, get off my fucking channel. If you want to know the truth, go over to this person's channel. Shut the fuck up. They don't know the truth about Malcolm. I don't care what you say. It's all cap. Just like it was with the Angie story. Tabir said, was a second or real autopsy ever performed on Angie since the other autopsy obviously was just, no, it wasn't. No, it never was. Yeah, Sabire, it never was. Denise Green said they were jealous of you. Yes, they were. They were way jealous of her. She told me some of the names that some of these celebrities would call her, low key. The name, she would hear other people would tell her other celebrities would call her these weird names and talk about, you know, how dark she was. This is what she told me. Right? But most of all, she told me how she felt like she wasn't appreciated. She was and is a witch and was wrong as hell. Are you talking about what's her name, the other artist, Boss Lady? Nadine said you are a good guy as well, Stone. Stay on the wall. Thank you, Nadine. You know, stand for something or fall for everything. That's my motto, Nadine. Stand for something or fall for everything. You know, they say a real soldier only leaves this earth one time. They say a coward passes away how many times? Ty said, I just wish Angie never joined the sorority. She didn't. Yeah, even that whole thing, you know, I don't know. I think they wanted her to be a member, and I think she looked at it, Cuzzo, as a privilege, right? So she just became a member, but I think maybe that's something that she should have rethought about. I never asked her about that, because actually I didn't even know about that until after she passed. Angie was a beautiful woman. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. She was a beautiful woman. Ain't no doubt about it. Denise said, you and Angie have the same heart. Yes, we do. And you know, and she used to always say to me, she used to always say, Stoney, you a good person. You a good guy, Stoney. And I would share with her some of my stuff. Barbara said they did not even use Angie's legal name. Exactly. The whole thing was bogus, Barbara. Did you see it when I posted it? The whole thing was bogus. Angie used to tell me, stop being me. Ty Dude's cousin, cuz you seen what they did at Angie's funeral. The whole sacrificial. Them ladies wicked. Yeah, it was kind of strange, bro. Even how they were lined up. The whole thing was weird. Sabire said, Stoney, you would like her blood brother. She was an only child. I know. And you know what she would tell me? Sabire, she said, I don't have no family. I don't have nobody to talk to, baby. I said, you can call me anytime. It doesn't have to just be business, Stoney. I said, call me. It don't matter if you call me at 3 a.m. I'm going to pick up my phone. And it broke my heart when she said that day. Boss lady say, talking about what some cards said, the tarot card reader needs to find the Lord because she is definitely. Listen, I noticed once she didn't, what she thought was going to come out didn't come out. She got very quiet because I posted a video saying that tarot card reader need to hang it up. She needs to hang up her career. And I'm going to find that channel again. And I'm going to actually go and comment under her channel. Has she quit reading cards? Because she needs to find another business to be in. Because being a tarot card reader, that shit ain't working for her. It's not the business. It ain't working. The Big Dice Chronicles said 1 million. Yeah, yo, Big Dice Chronicles. She was talking about, she know I was the one that unalive Angie, and you know, and the cards are telling her this and that about me. Denise said, now I see why your spirit didn't like those around her. Exactly. I was very funny about certain people, and I let her know. I straight up told her. Boss lady said, yeah, that other content creator, I will never say the name. She is irrelevant. Yes, she is. Cuz Otai do said it was all wickedness anyways. Y'all never deal with no mediums or card readers. Them deal with demons. That's all that is. It's all demonic bullcrap. It's all demonic, y'all. Understand that Angie was fighting a spiritual war in physical form. She was fighting a spiritual war with those beings in physical form being around her. Yes, she knew she was surrounded by demons. She knew it. She knew she was being, listen. She knew she was surrounded by demons. She knew it. She knew that when we would talk, she would say random stuff. We could be talking about one thing and she'll bust out and just start talking about the devil and the demons around, and the demons, the people that some people she deal with. She knew it. She never mentioned, well, some names she did mention, but when she would talk so much about the demon element, she wouldn't go into mentioning who she was talking about. She would talk about the entertainment industry and people that come around her. But she knew it. She knew what she was dealing with. And I'll tell every other artist, for artists that are background vocalists and musicians that are touring with artists right now, protect them at any cost. If you enjoy having your bills taken care of and enjoying touring and you know, seeing the world, and you respect that artist, protect them. Don't let nothing happen to that artist that you're out on the road touring with. Because not only are they taking care of you, out of respect, if you respect them, you'll also look out for them. A lot of people ain't gonna have no work now because Angie's gone. That immediate money they was getting from her performing, they're not gonna get that no more. Now, some of the band members are playing with other people, but they're not going to get the bulk of the money. If they were playing with 4 different people, now they're missing the money from Angie Stone because she's no longer here to be able to provide them the comfort of making that money playing behind her or singing behind her. Barbara said her last show, she kind of gave an altar call. She was leading people to, yes, she knew. I'm trying to tell you, the last phone call, what she said to me, Barbara, her spirit knew something. I wasn't even paying attention to what she said. Chef Vanna and Connie were the ones that reminded me of what she said when I was in the studio and she called me. And you would think that the love that the kids would have for me standing up and doing what I'm doing, it would have been more respect. Like I said, Michael never had an issue with me, but the daughter she just created an issue for no reason. Never once said, thank you, Stone, for everything you've done. Thank you, Stone. I appreciate you, Stone, for keeping Mom's name. They never said that. But Michael showed his respect by the way he talked to me. And I felt like, okay, Michael's showing his respect. Nadine said creators would come to your channel to get info and would put it out like they knew Miss. Exactly. Then they would create. Yes, Nadine, that's what they were doing. They would come to my channel, steal the information, then turn around and try to turn the same information I gave against me. Nadine got it right on point. Boss lady said the definition of what that witch was saying about you, she could get sued. But wow, I actually got to go back and watch that, boss lady, because some of the stuff I didn't see that she said. Some people said she was saying about me. Jimmy said, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers, this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil. And Ty said, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Exactly. Come on now. Come on. I mean, this is all facts. It's just sad that nobody had enough love for Miss Angie, like they said, to put their foots down. There's nothing wrong with us saying, listen, I love her enough to say, you know what? I am going to put my foot down for Angie Stone and fight for her in a way to where a person will never forget me as an artist and how much I loved her. Ty Cuzzo said these laws were never changed. Any man-made doctrines. You said these man-made laws, Cuzzo? Boss lady said they should starve if they love Angie. They should have protected. Facts. They should have. If they really loved her, they would have protected her. If they really loved her, they would have protected her. At any cost. At any cost, you guys. And what I mean by any cost, what I mean by that is, speak up. You see things, speak up. You see things, stop them. You see things, say something. When you see these people on tour with these artists and the groupies that hang with them, or the background vocalists and the musicians, most of the musicians and the artists don't have a care in the world, the background vocalists. They're just hanging out. They're just going to make their money. They're not thinking about, I need to protect this artist. Which is why I have a thing about people being around me. Like my crew, they got to stay trained. Martial arts, hand-to-hand combat. They got to know how to handle one of them things. Like my crew around me, all the ladies around me know how to handle those things. All of them do. My whole crew. The ladies and men around me, well equipped. Physical, mental, and spiritual. You can't be in the entertainment industry and not have that sort of element around you. You got to have people around you that love you enough to want to protect you. If not, you're doomed to run into a situation that we have seen play out over and over again with celebrities. I'm telling you. It'll happen. It don't matter who it is. Just keep your eyes open and watch what I say. The Big Dice Chronicle said the industry is dangerous. Barbara said that soul is still trying to profit from Angie. I don't think she will want him speaking on her. You think so, Barbara? I will tell you one thing. Shayna Shell's in Jamaica. How about that? Did y'all know that? She in Jamaica. Yeah, real talk. I'm just saying, if you're in the entertainment industry and you're a major artist, if you're an independent artist and you got a following, better make sure your team is tight as a motherfuckers. My cousin Ty says, so anyone that believed in that card reader fell to deception. That card reader was trying to get some views to make some money on YouTube, cuzzo. She didn't give a fuck about Angie, me, or nobody. Because if you love Angie, you wouldn't lie. If you love your mama, you ain't gonna lie. If you love your daddy, you're not gonna lie. Shazza may say they have more love for the paycheck and that's a fact. Because look, I could have took my videos on TikTok and monetized them to where those part 1 through whatever. I didn't do that. I didn't make people pay to see those on TikTok. I didn't. Because it wasn't about that. It was about I was in shock and in pain and still hurting. What's up, Leanne? I was hurting, you guys. And I'm still hurting. I still wake up with tears in my eyes from time to time. I got you, Barbara. Yeah. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah. Yep. I know exactly what you're saying, Barbara. You know, I'm good at reading between the lines. I still wake up crying, y'all. I wake up with tears in my eyes. The last dream I had about Angie, check this out. I had this dream. I was with Angie. We were at an interview or something, right? I don't know. I think I said this to you guys before. Boss lady said, oh, I can definitely handle them special girls. I got it. We'll sit down and bear quick stone. You feel what I'm saying, boss lady? Listen, I got some women around me that's no joke. Oh, yeah. They got hands. They know how to use their hands. They know how to use it. Yeah. The circle women around me, sharp with the hands, sharp with the steel. Oh, they sharp. Sharp with the knowledge. You'll be surprised. I don't keep a lot of guys around me, but I know I got the right guys. But just know, if you pull up to me and you don't see nobody around me, don't think I'm by myself. Just know that. You might think Stone by itself. You might pull up, see me at the mall and be like, oh, there goes Stone. Oh, Stone by itself. No, he's not. Look around you. You see 4 women, you don't know who's with me. I'm just letting you know. They got hands, feet, and they know how to use the steel, and they got brains. Real talk. Love Jones said, we all knew she was going to get that money and play. And I said this. Do you guys remember me saying, soon as Shayna Shell gets what she wants or gets put out, that as soon as the house situation don't work out, she's gone. And when she goes, she's going to take money with her. I said that. Nadine said, that's because you are wise and chooses your team. Yes, I do. All these women are sharp. Now, they give me headaches sometimes because they all respect me and got love for me. But guess what? Come at me in a derogatory way and you don't know me and they know you don't know me. And you'll be surprised. You remember them little knots when we was kids and we fall off our bike, y'all? Them little knots in the corner of your head? Yeah, you probably have about 30 of those. And I hope that you're still alive. Leanne say that's what these people do, and you can tell by certain things they do. Barbara said, yes, you said that, Stone, and that's exactly what she did. Yeah, she's been very quiet. You ain't seen her on Angie's YouTube? Cece says she's Cameron Diaz. Go ahead, Cece. Denise said, I'm going to contact the Jamaican government and warn. Yeah, she there, Denise. Yeah, warn them because she's probably out there trying to come up with a new scam. Not probably out there trying to. I'm sure she's already doing it. Trying to get other people wrapped up in her demonic bullshit. Last year, think about this. Last January, not this past January, Angie Stone was alive, y'all. Live and well, happy, talking, planning her future and what she was going to do, where she was going to go. We didn't see this coming, you guys. Denise, definitely do that. We didn't see this coming, you guys. We didn't see it coming. We didn't know. We didn't know our beloved Angie Stone, the legendary Angie Stone, was not going to be here this year. She had just buried another musician friend of hers. Literally, I remember her calling me, telling me she's headed to the funeral. And then a month later, she passes away. Oh yeah, she was over Angie's channel. She was the one. She always made sure she want to be heard. Yeah, Angie, you want to. She tried to make sure she's seen in the camera and shit, or you hear her voice. She wanted people to know that's me in the background, y'all. So she can tell her friends, that's me in the background, y'all. I'm the one that do that. I'm the one that put together everything, y'all. That's me in the background, y'all. And you had Michael believing in you. I think Michael believed in her more than Diamond did. Although Angie told me that Diamond didn't like her in the beginning. So I guess after Angie passed and Diamond felt like she needed her, she had to start liking her. Cambodia Mystique says, Stone, I kind of knew she was kind of strange from the beginning. You did. You said that. CC said, your imitation's on point. Yo, I used to get tired of hearing her fucking voice in meetings. Like her voice used to be, I'd never said it, and I had fell out with her before Angie passed. I wasn't even talking to her because Angie was trying to get her and I to make up and be friends. But I didn't like this little thing she started to try to make Angie think like I was liking her or some shit. Like, she made Angie think that me and her be talking to each other like on the phone. I'm like, I would never date you if you was the last woman on the motherfucking earth. But she had Angie believing that shit. So Angie contacted me one time and said, Stoney. I said, yeah, sis, what's up? She said, I heard you was on the phone. You and Shayna was on the phone for hours. Baby, I said, Stoney, I said, hell to the no. I said, nah, we wasn't on the phone like that. I said, I said, whatever she told you is a lie. She said, it's okay, baby. I said, no, I wasn't on the phone. And she told all the other people that, like, me and her was on the phone like that. I was like, man, first time I talked to Shane, let me tell y'all what she said. Because I had to talk to her because there's certain stuff that Angie wanted to keep her a part of the deal that was going on. So when I first talked to her on the phone, she said, you don't mind me saying, do you? I said, well, she said, you're a good looking man. You remind me of my, I think try to say her ex or some shit. And I'm like, man, whoever dated your ass, boy, they must have been blind as a motherfucker. That's what she said to me. I was like, ugh, and I'm thinking it in my head, but I can't say it, right? I said, oh, I remind you, yeah, you remind me of my ex. You good looking man. I said, well, thank you, man. And that's where it ends. Let's change the conversation. So whenever a woman talks to me and flirts with me and I'm not interested in her, I call her sis. So if you hear me calling you sis, then you know that I'm not interested. Or I'm trying to avoid you from flirting with me and it leading to something. So I start calling her sis to throw her off. Denise, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sweetie, I appreciate it. Leanne said, I felt something off about her too. You could feel something about her that wasn't right. I think near the end of Angie's life, hold on, sorry. God damn it. These things are moving so quick. Leanne said, I think the end of Angie's life, she started to think about Shayna differently. Yes, she did. Because I told her I didn't want to talk to, Angie was still trying to get her and I to talk because Angie didn't want the deal to get messed up with the residency, right? So Angie knew if I wasn't talking to Shayna, because Shayna, a lot of you guys got to understand, Angie's eyesight wasn't that good. So Shayna would be reading a lot of her paperwork. The boss lady said, why would you? Exactly. I guess she was used to men coming at her of all kinds of looks. And, I was like, not me. Well, they must be blind as shit. I am not interested in you. Barbara said she wanted to like Angie. She absolutely did, which is why she didn't want to get out of that house. So y'all got to understand, she's trying to figure out how to take over the house now. She wanted to stay in the motherfucking house. She didn't want to leave that lifestyle. Angie had a beautiful house in a beautiful estate area, gated. She wanted to be Angie Stone, y'all. She was going to call herself Shayna Stone eventually. I truly believe that. And put out an album called Welcome to Shayna Stone. Shayna Stone. I believe she was going to change her. If she had been able to continue to move like she wanted to move, I truly believe she would have tried to marry Michael or just change her name. Well, she definitely, that was, I'm sure that was on her mind, but definitely try to change her name to Shayna Stone because she definitely wanted to be Angie. And even when Angie was alive, I'm going to say it how I'm going to say it. I even told Angie one time, I felt bad for saying it. Angie disagreed with me. Ty said, yes, you seen all the footage. Shayna wanted to be an art. Oh, yeah, she was a horrible artist. I told her she sounded like Janet Jackson. So, and that was the thing. The day when Angie called me and said she heard that me and Shayna was on the phone for like 4 hours or something. I said, well, who told you that? She said, oh, Shayna told me. Yes, boss lady, you're my sis in a good way. In a like blood way. I'm calling you my sister in the blood. You're gonna be my real sister now. Now, I got friends that are more like family than my family, and that's the real truth. So you are knighted as my sister now, boss lady. So know that. So when Angie called me and said, oh, I heard you was on the phone with my girl for 4 hours. I say, Stony, I said, And she was laughing, right? She said, it's okay, baby, it's okay. She told me, ooh, it's Stone. She was saying all these, she said, I saw you, because they watched my Christmas video, right? And she's like, Angie said, you look good in that video. I love that Christmas song. She said, ooh, yeah, she was talking about that red suit you had. I said, Stony, I said, please, don't do that. I said, I'm not interested in that girl. So I got mad because I found out she made people try to make people think that me and her were really like on the phone on that kind of conversation. Mpxone say insulted Janet Jackson. So I was just mad. Like, why would you get on the phone and make people think that me and you was talking like that? I wasn't talking to your ass. So I cut her off. I stopped talking to her. And I told Angie, I said, I don't appreciate people lying on me. So literally before Angie passed, I wasn't talking to Shayna at all. So Shayna's mom passed away, right? Boss lady say, you funny as hell, Stone. You got me cracking up. Oh, because I'm talking about Shayna. But no, you my big sister for real. I might be older than you, so I might be your big brother. So Angie calls me and she said, Shayna's, I think she called me. She texted me and then, no, she called me. She said, Shayna's mom passed away. I said, oh man. I said, how's she doing? Because I got a heart, right? I said, well, listen, send her my blessings and, love and light to the history of her mom, right? Boy, I didn't know Shayna was standing in the door listening. I didn't know until after Angie passed away when Shayna tells me, yeah, when she told me that Stone said he sent his condolences for your mom, I smiled, and I was like, oh, Stone still like me. I said, yeah, you my friend. I said, listen, your mom passed away. Yeah, I sent my condolences. I'm like, get off of that shit. Barbara said she was not attractive in any way at all. Damaged Kisses said creeper status. Yeah, she was kind of like, I'm like, nah, I'm good. That ain't my type of hype. I love sisters, but I wouldn't date her. She would definitely not be in my dating pool. I don't know what the fuck she thought. I have no idea what the fuck she thought she was going to get out of, impressing upon me that, oh, you're a nice looking guy. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Okay. I don't give a fuck about being a nice looking guy. Leanne said, poor woman sounds desperate. Sabara said, use goods. Yeah, and I could see how she probably got caught up in a lot of shit she did. Boss lady says she's more like Freddie Jackson. Freddie Jackson, cougar, boss lady. Hey, Big Dice say facts. Leanne say probably say that to everyone. Facts. Bad built body. Listen, Barbara say bad built body. BBBS. She got a BBBS body. Hey, y'all funny. Barbara say bad built body. She got a BBBS body. Yo, I gotta use that. Hey, screenshot that, Mystique. That's funny. Bad built body, Shayna. She got a she got a BBBS body. I'm gonna start saying that. Hey, old girl got a BBBS body. They're gonna be like, what's that? I'm gonna say a bad built Shayna, a bad built body Shayna. They gonna say, who is that? I'm gonna say, hey, that's the type of body. Bargo lady, she say, what you say? Ian Fax built backwards, penguin. What? backwards, a backwards penguin. Ty said, ladies know ladies. All the ladies in here felt something off with her spirit, and now you know all were right. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies. Sparkle lady. What's up? Sparkle's the lady. Leanne said, I ain't beautiful, but I don't look nothing like her. Thank God. Listen, yo, you guys are y'all funny, man. I don't think you guys realize that when I do get on the road, I'm gonna have y'all come on stage when I come to your city and do a little comedy, because you guys are funny. I mean, in a real way. Y'all you guys make me laugh. Y'all funny, man. Oh my God. Some of the stuff I'm reading is hilarious. Shazamay says she was an opportunist only about herself and facts. Damaged Kiss said me to BBBS, unfortunately, but anyway, nobody has called me sis yet. So I guess, no, you good. Listen, if a man call you sis, he's either trying to avoid getting physical with you, or he's pretty much not attracted to you and he don't want it to go nowhere else. At least that's for me. At least that is for me. And respectfully, I've called women sis that I just wanted to do business with. And I didn't know how to tell them that, there wasn't going to be anything else. So I just call them sis. Right? So Byron said, thanks for the hits. Why y'all funny today, man? Y'all coming in here with some straight comedy. Hey, let me tell you, have you guys wondered why you haven't seen any trolls up in here yet? Y'all wondering why? I'll tell you why. Because I've changed the keywords. I talked to my cousin and he reminded me to go in and set my keywords in my automatic moderator situation. So I did that. Hey, Ty said, that's for me too, cuz I do that too. Wiggy, push yourself on somebody though. Leanne, you funny. Leanne said, why push yourself on someone that no trolls is like a go? I know. Trust me, I'm in a happy world right now. I'm in a happy world right now. Because I went in my moderator situation and I changed the settings with certain stuff that they were coming in here saying, the stupid stuff. And I just, went in there and set the moderator situation to handle that. Yeah, she was trying to push up. She was trying to flirt. She was trying to get her flirt on. And she was trying to work for my brother's company. I think she went and researched my brother. She almost had let me tell you something. She almost had my brother convinced. Like, my brother almost hired her for his company. Cousin Ty said, yep, chat looks real good, but we still on that look. Yeah, we still on the lookout. We ain't playing. Boss lady say my lash is coming off from laughing until tears coming out my eyes. And I got to go to a meeting. Oh, boss lady, I appreciate you, right? I appreciate you. Yeah, have a great meeting, boss lady. We love you over here. I'm going to come on probably later tonight in the studio. Listen, you guys, peace and love. I'm not going to hold y'all, man. We had some fun today. Peace and love. We ain't going to stop talking about Angie Stone. We're not. And the next video I do on Angie, I'll go over the percentages and I'll talk about her royalties and what she was getting for the D'Angelo stuff and all that. We'll go over that, right, on the next video. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll talk Angie Stone again, and we'll do the royalty breakdowns, what she was getting, the percentages on the publishing, and all the songs. All right, peace and love, Boss Lady. Thank you. Oh man, look at the love, man. Boss Lady just donated another $19 super chat. Boss Lady, I appreciate you. You made my day today. Peace and love to all of you guys. I'll chat with you tomorrow. Ciao.